All right, we're back at it. Had to make a follow-up. Some motherfuckers online thinking they got the information, but they don't got the full information. This Kevin Hart car situation is pretty weird. It's still weird because it proves that if you have a lot of money and if you're a celebrity, you can get away with crimes. You can pay off the media, you can pay off law enforcement and not get in trouble. I was in Cambodia, Vietnam, and Thailand for 1 month. And you can pay off government officials. You can pay off the police with $50 to get away with something. And in America, it's blown. It's times 10. Even, especially if you're a celebrity. So what I want to do is show you what I know. And this is not what you hear on fucking Good Morning America, Fox, the top news, right? Mainstream news channels. This is straight from the 911 call that was given from the first eyewitness person to go up to the car crash. He called the police. And here it is.
Because we have the 911 call made by the first person who was on the scene.
Is everybody in the vehicle awake?
Yeah, they're both awake. Sounds like the passenger's stuck in the car. The driver is out of the car, but he looks a little hurt. I think the top of the car is crushed.
A civilian who pulled up to the accident and saw a cloud of dust, wondered what was going on, but once he saw the car in the ditch, immediately called 911 and told them there are people trapped in there, the roof is crushed, you're going to need to cut it off. During the call, you actually hear him speaking to someone who's in the car.
Is it possible for you to find out if she has any injuries?
Yeah. Does she have any major injuries you guys know of? No major injuries.
That person is Rebecca Brocksterman, who is a personal trainer. She is a Nico Hart's trainer. So he heard her and knew that she was trapped in the car, but he also makes reference to the driver getting out of the car. Now, this is really, really critical. What we're told is when he said the driver got out of the car, he was referring to Kevin Hart because he thought at that point when he made the 911 call that Kevin Hart was the driver. Here's why he thought that. He witnessed a black Escalade pull up to the scene and a security guard or someone go down to the car and try to get people out of the car. He eventually saw that security guard pull Kevin Hart from the driver's side window. Kevin Hart and the security guard walk up the hill, get in the Escalade, and leave. The police report says that Kevin went to his nearby residence to get medical attention. We know that he was eventually brought to a hospital and ended up having surgery.
Malibu Hills, a frantic 911 caller tries to calm car crash survivors. That car belonging to comedian Kevin Hart.
Help's coming, guys. Don't worry. The ambulance is on the way. You guys okay in there? Stay calm. Help's coming.
The CHP says around 12:45 Sunday morning, Hart's 1970 Plymouth Barracuda rolled off the side of the highway. 2 of 3 passengers were pinned in the car.
The roof is crushed, and the car is pretty total. The door smashed in. The A-pillar is crushed into the front of the dash.
The initial report says when the CHP arrived, Hart had left the scene to get medical attention at his nearby home. It states 28-year-old Jared Black was found in the driver's seat, and another passenger, Rebecca Brocksterman, was trapped in the car. But the 911 call from the witness appears to describe Hart as the driver.
Is everybody in the vehicle awake?
Yeah, they're both awake. Sounds like the passenger's stuck in the car. The driver is out of the car.
About an hour and a half later, at 2:13 a.m., a second 911 call is made from Hart's Calabasas home by an unidentified woman. She's asking for an ambulance for Hart and says he was in a crash just minutes before.
Like 20 minutes ago.
Okay, and so did it happen in front of your house?
No, not in front of our house, outside of our gated community.
The woman describes Hart as immobile.
So he was in a car accident earlier tonight, or what happened?
Yes, earlier tonight. I don't know what happened. He's not coherent at all.
Hart is now in the hospital recovering from serious back injuries. Black is also in the hospital with serious injuries. Brocksterman was not hurt. The CHP says they're aware of the 911 calls and they're currently conducting interviews, but they also say they can't jump to any conclusions about what exactly happened until they conduct a thorough investigation.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Click the AB.
That was the audio of the 911 call. What I want to share with you is that key information of the caller saying someone's been pulled out from the driver's seat. And we all know if Kevin Hart, basically he fled the scene to go home. It had to be him. It had to be. And I believe they must have worked something out with the other two drivers. Other two passengers. For one of them to be in the driver's seat by the time police showed up. In my opinion, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. This is just piecing the pieces together. Piecing the pieces. Putting the pieces together and knowing that this shit that's told in the media is not making sense. I'm pretty smart. I'm smart enough to know that if you leave a car accident, you have something to hide. I've been in a couple car accidents myself. If I fucking walked away, I'm hiding something. And I'm just speculating because obviously I can't just call Kevin Hart or call whoever to ask him directly. But he must have been the one driving, and he must have had some kind of contraband on him. Drugs. And he didn't want to get caught. So he called his security guard buddies, pick him up out of the car itself right after the crash, drove off to his home, and that's where his wife, Anika, called the police. And that happened, I think, like 2 hours later or something. Some ridiculous time period. And I think that's the reason why is because he wants to sober up. He wants to sober up, get a clear head, fabricate a story to tell the police, right? And it's very interesting how these things during the accident is told to the public. I know that money talks. I know money talks. And it could kill a career. It could hide things. It could influence people's behaviors towards certain things. And this is a good example of what people with money can do. Hopefully it gets blown out even more. I don't want to be involved with that blow up. I just want to see where it goes, because this is an example of what media does in America. If you have a lot of money, have a lot of influence, you can pull a lot of strings. And you could twist truths, you could hide facts, but the evidence is in that phone call. And the evidence is when Kevin Hart walked away from the accident scene, which is a felony. That's what I've heard. And go home, have his wife call the police, and in severe back pain. I don't know how severe the back pain was, but it required surgery, and that shit is bad if it requires surgery. This is not a punch in the back. This is a fucking fracture shit. and how crazy it is, huh? So I just wanted to share that. That's you can type in I don't know, man. It's hard for me to trust what you hear. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. It's very hard to trust what you hear nowadays. Because you got to do like an inch more of research, and you can't take people's word for it anymore. I think that's what's pissing me off the most. That's what's been cooking my rice the most of through all this. Let me see if I have any notes on this shit. So I guess what the big news people are saying that Jared was the driver, and that's what I'm trying to get at. I don't think he was a driver. I don't think he was a driver. If you own a car, you're giving yourself on your major 40th birthday, you wouldn't have somebody else drive that car. You know, especially what is he, 30, 28? He's young, you know. And Cameron's 40. Like, what are you doing with that? What? So it just doesn't add up. That's all I'm trying to say. It just doesn't add up, and I don't know who's with me on this. Like, I want to know what you guys think, because I had one comment say, like, gave me this long ass paragraph on some bullshit, man, just trying to take me down or something, and I really forgot, because it was based on like no evidence, right? It was just based off what I don't even know. So I just replied with this. I'm gonna reply with this video, because clearly you need to get back at the facts, right? Look at the facts one more time. Other than that, you're gonna take it day by day and see where this pans out. I'm not following it too intensely. I just know bullshit when I see it, and I just gotta call it out. Okay, so I gotta get back to my things for the day. Damn, I really think I'm losing hair, man. But anyway, gotta go. Thanks for watching. Peace.